Good afternoon. I'm Collette Horton. We are the Fulshear professionals, and welcome to our master panel on real estate. And today we have 5 people on our panel. We are going to start with Miss Judy Hans. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Judy Hans, and I'm with your hands-on team at Greater Houston Real Estate Partners in Fulshear.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've been a realtor for over 20 years. And did you want anything personal?
Yes.
I've been married a long time and have a daughter and twin granddaughters.
Okay. And
Love
then
being in real estate.
I'm Collette Horton with Liberty Star Mortgage. I am with a division of network funding. I have been in the lending industry since 1986. I started my own company back in 1998, and I have been working by referral for the last 18 years. I'm married to a Houston police officer, a lieutenant, for the last 25 years, and have 2 beautiful children. We are going to throw it over to Kerrie. Oh, wait, Kerrie, we need to unmute you. Hang on. Hang on. Wait. There you go.
Hey guys, I'm Kerrie Burdette. I'm with Frontier Title. And a little bit about myself. If you want to find out, go on social media for sure. But I have a family of 7, 2 dogs and a cat and a fish. And so I've been with Frontier for a little over 12 years and been in the title business for about 15 years. So I've kind of been through the gamut with a lot of the things that we're experiencing right now.
Okay. Kim.
Hi, I'm Stacy. My husband and I own Fulshear Insurance. We're located in downtown Fulshear, and we opened our office about 9 years ago. Our son and our daughter also work with us in the business, and then we have some other employees as well, but we consider everybody our family. And we've lived in the Fulshear area for about 23, 24 years now.
Okay, and welcome to our guests that are jumping on. Okay, and Clint, if you can introduce yourself, please.
I'm Clint Stanford, owner of Stanford Construction Services. We specialize in kitchen, bath remodels, home additions, up or out, outdoor kitchens and patios. I've been in the business on my own for 11 years, been building houses, been in the industry since forever, since my parents decided to build houses growing up. So I went to Texas A&M. And since starting my business, I've been awarded the Aggie 100 twice as the fastest growing Aggie-owned businesses. And we always like to be on site on time and on budget. At Stanford Construction, we're building your dreams together.
Okay, so that is our real estate panel for today. We are going to jump into our next question, and I'm going to start with Judy. Judy, how have things changed in the real estate industry recently?
Well, first, I guess due to the concerns that people have with the virus, several sellers have withdrawn their homes from property or from sale, and they've done virtual tours to help keep people from coming through their homes, or they have masks, gloves, and booties available at the doors for them when they come in. So it's a much slower process than it was before with showing homes. But the market has, is constantly changing, and the prices in the $250,000 or less price range are still selling, and in some cases we're still getting multiple offers. And surprisingly enough, the homes in the higher price ranges have been selling as well. It's that middle range that we haven't seen. It's really slowed down the most.
Okay. And then I'll take that same question for the mortgage industry. What we're seeing is actually people moving a lot faster when the process starts. We see everyone going really, really fast. And so when we're getting a contract in where normally people are taking a 30-day window, sometimes 45 days, they're asking to close in 10 days, 15 days. Everybody seems to be in this really fast pace. So that has been a huge change for my team. They're working a lot faster, a lot harder. My working partner, Tina, just jumped on. Tina, wave at everybody. That's Tina Cass. So yeah, we're working a lot longer hours, which is okay. The other thing that we're noticing is our underwriting guidelines have tightened up. And so cash is king right now. You really need to look at assets and make sure that you have a lot of cash. And that has to do with people asking for forbearance in our industry. So it's better to keep your cash in the bank rather than trying to pay off debts, that type of thing. Don't try to help us out. Don't start paying off your debts before you come in to get pre-qualified. Let my team work with you to make the determination what's going to be best for your situation to get you qualified, because money in the bank, cash is king right now. Okay, Kerrie, we're going to throw that over to you. In the title world, what has changed?
So the title world is a combination of what both you and Judy mentioned. So we get after you guys deal with all of that, we get the aftermath of it. And so what we're seeing is exactly what you said. People are going under contract and it's a fast close. A lot of people are nervous about losing their job if they're under contract. We've only seen a few files bust out for those purposes, but it's definitely, emotions are high. When purchasing, we see a lot of refinances coming through because rates have been so wonderful. And when people can't go and they can't sell their home, they're looking at other options to alleviate either the mortgage, their mortgage payment, or for whatever personal reasons they have. So we have staggered our closings a lot because we are still busy. We're still productive. I've learned you don't say the word busy, but we're still very productive. It's just that, it's either let's get it done right now, or, we're going to kind of kill the deal. So we're moving as fast as we can also to make sure we're able to perform along with the lender and the real estate agent.
Okay. Kim, in the insurance world, what changes have you seen in the past 6 weeks, 2 months?
A lot of changes. So we work with multiple carriers for home, auto, as well as business insurance. And so our carriers are come in, and a lot of it's been in the news, so a lot of y'all may already know this. But a lot of the carriers are coming out saying they're going to be giving rebates at the end of the month, or not, I guess, refunds, a percentage of your premium that you paid for the month. They will be refunding that to you in the method that you pay your premium. And we're already seeing that with most of our carriers for the end of April. They'll see it around the first week of May. And then the end of May, they'll see it around the first week of June. And then they will make a determination whether to extend that into other months as well. But we're seeing a lot of the carriers ease restrictions on their cancellation process, I guess I should say. So they may not be canceling as much, or putting those cancellations off, especially if you haven't been able to make your payment. So they don't want to cancel you due to not making your payment right now, with a lot of people being out of work, having to file for unemployment. So they're aware of all of that. What I would say is call your agent if you have any questions about it. Call us, because we would love to help you out. We have some carriers that are adjusting their rates for new business that we're writing. So we're seeing a lot of changes, and yes, we're still very productive. I like that word, Kerrie. And and we're still here working in the office. I mean, we're pretty much related to everybody in our office, so it's like staying at home. So we're still here working with everyone. Phone calls are fine. We don't really have as many people coming into the office right now, so that has declined, but we're still available by phone and by email, and we'd love to help you out.
Okay. And then Clint, what kind of changes are you seeing in your industry?
There's definitely been some, postponement of some jobs because they're involved in the oil industry, and so a lot of people are unsure of what their future looks like right now. But as of the last downturn, they'll always come back later, and once they get their job is secure, and go back. Definitely a lot of changes, as far as the way we operate in a house. We're trying to do a lot more, being more proactive on our safety. I talk to my guys every day and make sure they're all well. We're wearing masks as needed inside. We're doing a lot of outside work. I don't have as many crews working on a job at the same time like I normally do. So just to try to keep myself safe and homeowners safe. But so as far as the market and everything else is it definitely looks like it's in the future. It's going to be starting to slow down a little bit more. The longer the economy goes on like it is. Supply chain on certain products have started to dry up on certain manufacturers because I've had several selections that were made, and Delta, Kohler, certain manufacturers are not. Some of their plants have scaled back or stopped, so we're having to make some changes on selections. But we can always make anything work and keep the progress going. But I think as of right now, we're just trying to keep everything going as smoothly as possible, ready for a jump start.
Okay. And for those of you that jumped onto the call, if you have questions, if you look at the bottom, there is a chat screen. If you'll type your questions into the chat for any of our panel members, then I will be adding those to the list of questions that we already have. Okay, so Judy, we are going to jump back to you. If you will answer, since we are on the brink of reopening our economy, do you think it's a good time for home buyers to be listing their homes?
As far as listing their homes, I think it's a good time to prepare their homes, to get them ready, to call Clint and get their homes ready for sale, get the painting done, get the renovating, any updates done, and prepare the home so that when we get out of this quarantine, that their home is ready to go on the market. I think we're going to see a lot more buyers as soon as this opens up, and we're going to be short on listings. So I think a good, high quality, well-maintained or kept up or brought up to date home is going to sell the fastest. And it's going to have the best opportunity for sale.
What about buying? Do you think now's a good time to buy?
I think with the new construction, it really is a good time. The new construction, I've talked to many builders and I'm hearing that they're very slow. So if you want new construction, it's great for them. I think we can make some really good deals. And then I also think with the buyers that we have less competition right now. I know I was going to talk about that as well, like you did, Collette, with the people wanting to quickly get in and get that mortgage before the criteria changes again, or they get knocked out of being able to buy. So there's less competition right now, depending on the price range you're in. It is a great time to buy. You still have your job. It's the perfect time to buy.
I'm going to address that from a mortgage side as to why now is a really good time to go ahead and get pre-qualified, get purchased, find a home, and get locked in. When you're looking in a mortgage world, our underwriting guidelines tighten up really fast, and then they loosen up a lot slower. And so once you find a house and we lock you into an interest rate, you're locked into those underwriting guidelines. So if I can find a program and get someone locked, now it's not the time to be playing the market, playing interest rates. If we get someone in and get them locked in, then it doesn't matter if underwriting guidelines get harder next week or 6 weeks from now. We've got you locked in. So if we've got somebody that finds a house and they don't want to close for 60 days, normally we would tell that person, let's go ahead and wait for 30 days. Let's start looking around 30 days from your closing date before we lock in that interest rate. Now we're telling people, let's do a long-term lock. We want to lock you in on today's rate, but today's underwriting guidelines. We're looking more at the guidelines and the program more than we are the interest rate, because things keep tightening up. We had one of the people from our corporate underwriting explain it to us, why are underwriting guidelines getting harder and tighter all the time? And they said at this time, if you think about when someone is climbing Mount Everest and you get frostbite, and they may lose a couple of fingers and they may lose the tip of their nose, but the body is preserved. That's what's going on in the mortgage industry right now. They're losing some deals. They may be losing a few fingers. They may lose the tip of the nose, but it's not like it was years ago. We're not going to lose the industry. And so they're pulling everything in. They're protecting the core of the business. They're protecting the higher credit score programs. They're protecting the core business. and we're going to come out of this strong. They don't want another meltdown. And so everything is reining in. So if you have a buyer, find a home, get locked in, and don't worry about what's happening 3 or 4 weeks from now, because it could get a little tighter before they loosen up, because bankers tighten up fast and loosen up slow. Okay, Kerrie, I'm going to throw that to you. In your world, it's a little different. Tell us why it's a good time. What things have happened in your industry? I know there's been some discounts and things. What's happened in your industry that's made it better to refinance?
In September, the Texas Department of Insurance did a rate reduction, and it's about a 5% decrease. And so with refinances, depending on the number of years that that it's been since you have either purchased a home and that you have your original owner's title policy and refinanced, you can get up to a 50% decrease in your premium. So that's a big, that's a big difference. Not necessarily have anything to do with their mortgage payment, but so much their closing cost of what they, of overall what they're going to have to bring to closing, and then the discounts that they receive. So it's called an R8 credit, and it's based on the last time you refinanced or you purchased a home.
Okay, so that's going to help with closing costs, which is going to in turn help with your payment.
Right.
Okay. Kim, tell us why now is a great time to be shopping your home insurance or your car insurance.
Well, it's always a great time to buy in the insurance world. I will say that. So something that Judy touched on was the new homes. So if somebody is looking at purchasing a home now, looking at new homes versus older homes is something to consider. Depending on their situation, of course. But when it comes to insurance, new homes, typically they can get a better rate. They'll get a lower premium on a newer home. It has new plumbing, it has a new roof. It's considered less of a risk than an older home. So the newer the home, the less of a risk. The older the home, the insurance carriers look at it as a little bit higher risk. So each year that a home ages, then you'll see those premiums tick up. And people say, well, I didn't file a claim. No, but you're still considered a little bit higher risk every year. We age, our homes age, our vehicles age, and they're considered higher risk. And that's how part of your premium is determined. Age of roof, that's always something that that they look at. And so newer homes have the newer roof. Less likely that you're going to be filing a claim. So our rates are really good right now. Like I said, we've had some adjustment with a few of the carriers. So if somebody's looking at either buying a home or refinancing their home or looking to save a little money and shop their insurance, then we definitely encourage them to give us a call, because we have different carriers and we shop that for them. So Fulshear Insurance.
Okay. Clint, so going off of what Kim said, she's talking about different things that, to be looking for. So it's going to decrease your insurance rates if you have a new roof, those kinds of things. What kinds of things should we be looking at doing to our home? I know you've done remodeling for years. What things should we invest in to remodel our homes?
There's different things you can do if you want to maintain your home. There's a lot of big item things you can do as far as your roof. That's one thing. Every few years, I always recommend having a roofer come out, spend a few $100s, have them seal the nail heads, flashing, things like that, sealing your windows, checking underneath sinks for any water leaks. Water leaks start usually as a small drip, and then by the time you move all your shampoo bottles and everything else out from below the sink, it's turned into replacing the whole cabinet in sheetrock. So there's certain ways you can do small things to help yourself out to have less of a big problem in the future. And then also too, you can always, as you live in a house year to year, I have several clients that call me for 1 year for a kitchen, another year for a master bath. those are always good investments to work on while you're in a home, to get those updated. And so by the time you sell, you actually got some enjoyment out of it, and you get a little bit of bang for your buck when you go to sell.
Okay. Judy, I'm going to have you bounce off of that. So what are you seeing in the market? What should we be working on? What should we call Clint for first? If we're going to put our house on the market, what should we call Clint for?
Well, he nailed it on the head, the kitchens and the bathrooms. You know, that's the biggest points. That's the first place that a woman goes to when she's looking at a home. You know, what's the kitchen look like? What's the bathroom look like? That's the most important things to us. It's where our family is. So I think Clint has it right on. And I noticed that walking my neighborhood today, one of the houses had 2 toilets and cabinets sitting on the front curb for the garbage men. So I said, somebody remodeled their bathrooms. So it's a great thing to do.
So Clint, I'm going to bounce back to you on that. Is that if you're going to sell a house, should you go in and spend the money on that, or should you just, you know, let Judy list it and then buy something the way you want it?
Well, there's 2 different routes you can go when you're selling a house. Depends on the age of your house and what your comparisons in your neighborhood are. Of course, you know, you want it to look fresh. Painting, you know, carpet, if it looks really bad, needs to be replaced, maybe possibly cleaned. Cleaning the outside windows, inside the windows, power washing. There are certain things you can do, you know, like that, just to make your house look better. And then, of course, you know, if you're the only 80s house in the neighborhood that hasn't been remodeled and everybody else has, then it's time to look at, you know, either a full remodel on a kitchen bath, or if the cabinets are salvageable, maybe making just new doors and granite and tile backsplash. So there's all different levels, but it's really, you know, working with your realtor and seeing what the market will take, and what you can get the most bang for your buck at.
We all want to know, what's the thing to do right now? What's hot right now? What's the style?
Right.
The style, clean, simple, shaker style, clean lines, very grays, of course, has been in for the last few years. No more tans, but of course that'll all come full circle, and we'll be into tans and brass before we know it.
And blues.
And blues?
And blues. I'm seeing blues already.
Oh goodness.
Okay, so we're going to talk about how you're accommodating different. What have you changed to accommodate things? So Kerrie, how have you changed closings right now? How are you accommodating closings right now? What's changed?
So actually a lot has changed with regards to that, because we've had to do a lot of social distancing. Some of our offices, we have 8 offices, and some of them house, you know, 20 people. So we've had to, in some of our offices, half of the employees have had to start working from home. We kind of start there, because at the end of the day, the clients, when you're ready to close, you're typically coming to a office and closing in a closing room. So in those instances, we still do normal closings. That's what we call, but we also do a lot of mobile closings, where we will send a mobile notary to someone. We stagger closings. So typically, I mean, one of the things that Frontiers just has always been very adamant about is accommodating. And as much as we still accommodate, we can't do it to the same capacity as we used to. It was very typical on a busy Friday for us to have 7 closing rooms full at the same time. And now we stagger. We try to have 1 closing at a time. And we are asking that non-essential people part of the transaction, when it comes to signing, do not attend. Now that doesn't have to be, and there's obviously situations where multiple people have to come to a closing that aren't necessarily signing documents. But we've eliminated things like just the extra people for the safety of our team, also because we are essential. We were considered essential through all of this social distancing, and in order to do that too, and in order for us to continue to close deals, we have to keep a safe and clean environment for our team, as well as our clients that come in. So we still do have closings. I get that a lot. We've done remote closings. We've closed, I've closed at a Torchy's Taco within, you know, across the table. I've signed somebody. And again, that just goes back to, we needed to hurry up and get it closed because her company had furloughed half their employees and she was terrified that she was going to be next and she just wanted to get it done. So everybody kind of worked through hoops, and that's just what you have to do. You have to be a lot more flexible these days. And so we're doing everything that we can on that regard. We do a lot of mobile closings right now with mobile notaries.
Okay. Kim, what about you? What accommodations are you making?
Well, fortunately, most all of our business at any time of the year can be done, and usually is done via phone and via email and fax. But like I said earlier, we do have a lot of people that like to come in and have face-to-face. We can still do that. We can still accommodate them. And we just practice the social distancing. Even if FedEx drops off a package here at our office, I immediately go, or somebody immediately goes, and we wipe down. We have all the Clorox wipes and wipe down the door handles from the inside and the outside. We all have hand sanitizer sitting on our desk. So there we go. So everybody has one of these, and we just, you know, not a whole lot has changed other than just trying to keep everything clean and just trying to be respectful of everyone's space.
Okay.
And then making everyone feel comfortable. So we want to accommodate them at their level of comfort.
Okay. And I see a question came up that someone was asking if I know anything about how to help someone if they're having trouble with making their mortgage payment right now. And yes. And so what you would do is call your lender. It's something that came up in the last financial crisis that we had, was that 50% of the people that went into foreclosure never called their lender out of embarrassment or whatever the reason was. 50% of the people never contacted their lender. And right now, if you contact your mortgage company, they will immediately set you up on a 90-day payment plan where they're going to take that mortgage payment and put it either at the end, or they'll put it in some type of forbearance. And in some situations, they'll make it up to 12 months. Now, should you do that if you can make your mortgage payment? Absolutely not. Do not just decide that now's a great time not to make your mortgage payment, because that's what's going on in the financial industry. At the end of the 90 days or the end of the 6 months or the end of the 12 months, whatever you do to push that mortgage payment back, the lender is going to determine, are we going to ask you for the full amount? Are we going to put it at the end of your mortgage? Or are we going to figure out some other type of payment? They can put you into a modification where at that point they're going to ask you for proof of your income, that kind of thing. So if you are truly in a situation, if you have truly lost income, absolutely tell your mortgage lender, I've lost my job, my income has gone down, something has happened, I need to not make my mortgage payment for the next 90 days. They are there to help you. They will push that back. And then at the end of that, ask for a modification. If you have questions on that, call me. It doesn't matter if I'm your mortgage lender or not. At the end of that, your plan needs to be, I'm going to ask for a modification on that, but be prepared to prove that your income went down. Because in that modification process, you can possibly ask for your interest rate to be lower because they're going to modify everything about your loan at that time. But you can push those mortgage payments back 3 months, maybe 6 months, even up to 12 months. It just depends on what your situation is. So first step is to call your mortgage lender. Communicate, communicate, communicate. They are there to help you during this time. But the key is, do not look at this as an opportunity to go buy a boat or to get ahead on your credit card debt. If you can pay your mortgage payment, pay your mortgage payment, because they are going to ask you for some proof at the end of this. So that was my little answer to that. Okay. So, Judy, we're going to pop back over to you. If people are thinking of investing in real estate, is now a good time?
Absolutely, yes. Same as with the buyers. There's less competition. The interest rates are great. It's the best time. And I also think that we're going to start to see is the people that aren't going to be buying are going to be looking for rental homes. Or if somebody's lost their job or somebody's fearful of losing their job, they might not keep their home, they might go into rental. I also think we're going to see people moving in from out of the area who will possibly and probably be looking for rentals until they can decide on a market area or neighborhood that they want to be in. So they're going to come and look for rental homes. So I think it's a great time to invest in a rental home.
Okay, so Clint, we're going to throw that to you. If someone is, let's say they find a rental, what kind of things should they put into a home?
Well, again, it goes into, what's the situation on the house? How old is it? Everything else, does it need to be? When you first have a rental, you don't necessarily think about selling. Depends on your rental philosophy. If you're going to keep it for 7 years, to then sell it, or if you're going to keep it for a lifetime, like a lot of people do, and then sell it later on. But some major things to do is to make it less of a maintenance issue. Check the age of the water heater. Check, make sure the ACs are maintained. Check your roof. If you have carpet in there, I would go with depending on the price range of the house, doing a tile wood floor or even some of these laminate wood floors in there, just to not have a maintenance, after a 2-year, rental ends, then somebody else moves in. It's one less thing to do on there. If you have laminate countertops in there, granite might be the way to go. So at the end of it, the edges aren't peeling off, depends on how rough they are. So just trying to make your home as least amount of maintenance as possible, and checking everything before actual renter actually moves in. So, because you're not going to be there, but 3 or 4 times a year, twice a year, depending on what kind of rental agreement you have with your renter. So I think that's it.
Okay. Kerrie, does that change what we need to do at title if it's an investment property? Or is the process the same?
Process is the same.
Okay. And what about you, Kim?
So we offer landlord policies. So it is different than a regular homeowner's policy. So there's a landlord's policy, and then the tenants would have a tenant policy or a renter's policy to cover their contents. And the landlord policy covers the structure, the home. And then something else that we haven't mentioned in talking about the renovations is, and from an insurance standpoint, this is important, especially if it's an older home, the electric panel, if it's a Federal Pacific electric panel, yeah, Clint's shaking his head, need to change that out. Those are difficult to insure the home when they have a Federal Pacific electric panel, or breaker box, I guess is what it is. Galvanized pipes. So those are some other things to consider when considering renovations, especially from an insurance standpoint. It makes it easier to insure. We have more companies that we can consider for insurance and shop when we can answer that, no, it doesn't have galvanized pipes, or no, it does not have a Federal Pacific breaker box.
Okay. I'm going to bring something up on the mortgage side. People like to buy homes in areas like a lake house or a beach house or areas like that. And they like to buy them as a second home because in the mortgage world, our interest rates and our loan programs are great for second homes. They have low down payments, they have great interest rates. And then if it's an investment property, we want 30% down, your interest rate is higher. So let's just say that someone was to buy a house as a second home and they insured it as a second home, but really it was an investment property. Kim, how would that work in the insurance world? Explain that to us.
It would not work well for them, unfortunately. So if they filed a claim, they could rock along for a while and pay the lower rate of a second home or a homeowner's insurance policy. But in the event they have to file a claim and the insurance company, the adjuster comes out and does an investigation and discovers that you're actually renting that property out, then you may not have any coverage at all.
Okay, Kerrie, can you answer that from a title question? Let's say they bought it. Would that matter to title policy?
I'm sorry, what would matter?
If someone bought it as a second home, but it was truly an investment property, does that matter on the title side?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And Clint, you're just like, I just want to do the renovations. I don't care. My Google back here, I don't know if you can hear Google, but Google keeps trying to get involved in our conversation. It keeps giving me all kinds of advice. And Judy, does it matter from a contract standpoint if someone is buying something as an investment or as a second home? Do you care?
No.
Okay. Let's see. If anybody has any questions for our panel, if you will type them in. I think I've answered all the ones that were there. Does anybody on our panel have anything that they want to add today?
Thank you.
Well, I did want to add that I think I've been hearing too from my experts that I think we're going to have a lot of movement in and out of states. That we're going to see people moving from other states to Texas, that they've discovered through this quarantining how important their family is to them. And I've had other people that have actually canceled purchases, I've heard from other agents, because the home they were going to buy was going to be too far from their family. And now they're going to move back home. They're going to move back to their home state. They want to be closer to family. And I think we're going to see more movement along that line, that not just for the job, but because of this, people want to be closer to their families. And I think we'll probably see more people moving into Texas and out, because what other state do they want to live in but Texas? You know, I mean, who wants to move out of Texas?
I was going to say, everybody wants to live in Texas, right? Yeah.
So I think we'll see more of that too, you know, thinking about that side of it.
Well, this video is going to be available on our website and on our Facebook page. So if everybody would go around and give your contact information. So we are actually going to start. Clint, if you would give your contact information.
Best way to contact me is through my cell phone, 281-726-2833. You can text or call anytime, and I'll be calling you right back.
Okay, Kerrie?
To get me, my cell number is 713-302-4912. Something really great though is we've talked a lot about refinances and just closing costs. We haven't really so much talked about that in detail, but our website is a great tool for that. We have a title calculator, whether you're refinancing, whether you're selling and you want to know a seller's net, and whether you're just purchasing, it'll list the different costs, because a lot of people like to know that. I did want to let you know that we are super excited at Frontier because we finally got our KN95 mask. And also we have plexiglass in our closing rooms that drop from the ceiling to protect, and spray bottle. Kim, I saw yours in the back and it made me think of ours. But my cell number is the best way. We do have 8 offices. I office out of Fulshear and Katie mostly, and that's it.
Okay, and I'm Collette Horton with Liberty Star Mortgage. 281-830-8888 is my cell phone, or my working partner, Tina Cass. Tina, wave. 281-558-0004, extension 108 is Tina down there. I'm just giving a plug for her over there. Okay, Kim, Stacy.
I'm Stacy, Fulshear Insurance. 281-533-9067 is our office number. And then we can also be found on the web at fulshearinsurance.com. And we also have a place on our website to request a quote.
Okay, and then we are going to wrap it up with Miss Judy Hans.
Hi, my cell phone number is 832-603-1052. And my email is judy@judyhans.com, and my website is judyhans.com. So you can find me anywhere.
Okay, and I am the leader of the Fulshear Professionals. Join us for our next panel that will be starting at 4 o'clock, and that is on insurance. You can find us at Fulshear Professionals or FulshearPros.com. So this next one will be our last panel, and then we have several panels that we've had over the last few weeks. You can find all of those on FulshearProfessionals.com. Thank you, Daniel Van Holten, for posting all of those for us. And remember, wash your hands and say your prayers, because Jesus and germs are everywhere. Y'all have a great day.